Hi, welcome to the last set of floors. I personally enjoy this set a lot. It feels like a victory lap, and compared to how nasty 181 to 190 can get, this is a welcoming change of pace. There is no boss at the end here, so you get more time to get through the floors. Let's get into it. On the first few floors we have the traps, aggroed by sound, so if you want to avoid them you have to walk. Pretty simple enemy, otherwise they spam seed volley, a ranged attack, and if you go into melee range of them they will do a frontal cone and then continue with seed volley. While simple, they can still crit and you can't kite their damage since it's ranged, so make sure you have a health pot rolling. Mummies are proximity and they are another easy pick. They have a small frontal cone attack alongside their melees. The Corse is proximity and they are the patrol for these early floors. Personally, I strength and steal against these if I have spare Pomanders. Be very careful with body pulling one of these, they can be very scary. When pulled, they will jump on you and cast Butterfly Float alongside an auto attack. Both of these can crit. You can kite them like any other enemy afterwards, but know that they will repeat this combo every 30 seconds. I would not deal with these on debuffed floors if I can help it, especially on Gloom or no items. If you are using a resolution, they will be stunned by it. The Hippogryph are sight. They do a point blank AoE called Shriek. They also have a double auto attack called Big Snap. Be careful with them on debuffed floors and make sure you're kiting. Dragons are proximity. They do a gaze attack called Evil Eye, which you have to respect. Other than that, they do a frontal cone. These dragons aren't dead and will take a lot of damage from resolution, but know that they do not get stunned by it. The Fachan is sight and they are your new patrol starting at 194. I usually steal for this if I can spare it. They are casters, so they get full uptime on you. Make sure you have a pot rolling. After a while they start casting level 5 death. This is a frontal cone that will one-shot you. You can run away or go behind them to avoid it. Be careful pulling these on debuffed floors or without steal. Wraiths are proximity and they're fairly easy. They melee you for a little bit and then begin casting Scream. I never interrupt this personally as it buys me a lot of time to just DPS them. Alongside that they cast another telegraphed AoE, a Cursed Pox. Getting hit by either of these will very likely kill you. Wraiths can be stunned by resolution. The Bicephalus are proximity. They have a double auto attack called Glass Punch and it can crit. They give you time to recover by following it up with Catapult, a targeted AoE. Keep a pot rolling and kite them. As you can see, they are doable on Gloom, but I do have a steal on. If you do not have steal, I would avoid them on debuffed floors. They take full damage from resolution, but they do not get stunned by it. The Gourmand is proximity. They have a double auto attack called Beatdown. Make sure you have room to kite. This can be quite scary without a steal on, and I usually try to avoid pulling them on debuffed floors. They do get stunned by resolution. The Knights are proximity and I never pull these without a resolution, witching or a rage. They open with a double auto attack / tank buster called Skull Splitter. This will interrupt your cast, so be careful. They follow it up with Death Spiral, a big donut AoE. This will instantly one-shot you if you get hit by it. If you do not kill them fast enough, they do have an enrage mechanic that buffs their damage done and decreases damage taken. Be careful, even if you are using resolution, make sure you have a steal on or use a witching before you pull them. Their tank buster can crit and as you can see they do not get stunned by resolution. The Keeper is sound and it is a new patrol from 197. Toggle walk on to avoid these. They do a lot of damage. I never pull these without a resolution, rage or witching either. They do not get stunned by resolution. For Pomanders, just like the last set of floors, there is no right or wrong way to use them. They can vary from person to person depending on the debuffs, floor lengths, type of enemies, available poms and so on. But here is what I did this run and the rules I tried to go by. 191 to 193, I use my fortunes to try and get some chests. I will use strength and steal if I plan to pull the more threatening enemies like the Corse patrol. Sometimes I will also use an affluence if my poms are looking really bad. 194 to 196 I use my steals. They make this set of floors very comfortable. In my last run I actually got very unlucky and only had one steal for the whole 10 floors. Just give it your best try, it is still doable. On 196 I will use my flights and alterations if I have any. From 197 onwards, I use my flights, alterations and so on, sight and safeties as well if I have any. From these floors on, I'm starting to look for resolution opportunities, ideally to open the way with time left on resolution so I can carry it into the next floor. But that won't always happen. I do the same for 198 and 199. Ideally, I try to have my resolution for the last 3 floors, but that's not mandatory. As long as you have a flight or an alteration or a rage, you can still do it. Having more than one is comfortable, but having only one doesn't make it impossible. I instantly Serenity no items. I think that debuff makes these floors very hard if not impossible. There are very few things you can fight without a pot. If I get Gloom, I look at my options and make a decision. For example, if something like Knights are blocking my exit room on a Gloom floor, I would rather Rage or Witching to get rid of them. Very important that you try to save a Serenity for floor 199. I almost lost my first clear because I did not. I'll link that video in the cards. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you get your clear and let me know if you do. If this guide helped you in any way, consider giving it a like.